So we're going to train you how to use the funnel and site builder by building out a funnel for our top health coach secrets, a company that we've been working on throughout this entire next level training. And you're just going to want to apply these same principles to your brand. And we're going to do it through teaching you in steps. So the first step is really to understand the different types of elements that are found within a funnel. Now, we're going to do this by using a template. Inside the system, we've given you lots of templates that you can choose from, and they're a good way to get started. And one of the things I always tell people and want you to understand is that utilizing a template allows you to have a framework to get your mind thinking until you can start to develop your own look and your own feel for how you want your various pages to look. So we're going to go into sites, forms, etc., and we're going to click on funnels, and that'll bring us to this page. You'll see a listing of all the funnels that you've created. In this account, there are no funnels, and so we're going to click New Funnel. You can also click New Funnel from the top right-hand corner, and you'll see you have three options. You've got From Blank, you've got Funnel AI, and you've got From Templates. Now, you could use From Blank, and this is just going to give you a completely blank canvas to work from. And if you're new, I don't recommend you start here, and so we're not going to start here today. You could also use Funnel AI, but this does come at an additional cost. You'll get a certain number of free test funnels, but each time you produce a funnel, it will come at an additional cost out of your billing wallet. And so I don't even recommend that you start here. We're going to start from Funnel Templates, and we're going to click Continue. And inside of our template builder, you'll see there are a lot of templates. We have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of templates that you can choose from, not just for funnels, but you'll also see under sites the same thing. And so each of these are unique and they have multiple pages or steps. And so we're going to look and we're going to use health and wellness because we're doing, and we're going to use business coaching because we're doing top health coach secrets. So it's really more of a business teaching people how to be health coaches in our fictional business we're working through. And I'm going to go through and maybe our goal for our funnel is to get people to join us for a coaching call. So we're going to look here and we're going to look for how can we get people to join our coaching call. So keep coming down through here and just looking for one that stands out. Now, what I want you to understand is, again, don't worry so much about the actual look as you want to think about the layout of any of the funnels that you're looking for, the templates that you're looking at. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with this one right here, which is wellness coaching. So I'm going to select the eyeball to get a preview of this. And when you're looking at it, you'll get an idea of what it's going to be. Okay. And so we kind of like this. It's good for, we might change the imagery, but it's good for us. It looks good. You've got this, just a pretty good layout, pretty simple to use. And as you're looking at the template, you go, okay, I like this one. We're going to use it. And so we're going to click continue. And now it's going to add the template. In this first training, we're just actually going to show you the various elements. We're not going to focus on designing this. We're just going to show you how to access sections, rows, columns, and elements. So now we're in our funnel builder. And this applies to sites. This applies to stores. This applies to funnels. The builder is always going to be the same. So let's talk about what options you have and what everything is. You have a top menu row that will show you how to add elements, your different layers that are created inside, and we'll talk about those. The different pages you've built so that you can see that this funnel came with 3 pages, the offer, the booking, and the thank you. And these are steps in our funnel. Tracking codes, which are more advanced. Custom CSS, which is advanced. Typography, which we'll set up in another training. Background, which is the background for the entire document or entire page. Pop-up settings, which allows you to create a pop-up on your page. SEO data, which is for search engine optimization. Custom codes. Cookie consent, which allows you to create a cookie consent banner where people allow you to capture their information, which we'll talk about in different training. You have your layouts, you have the page you're working on, and you can select this and choose other pages. Desktop mode and mobile mode. You can see all the versions that you've saved as you go. This is an undo, a redo, and then you can show settings for what you're working on in the current view that you're in. So above that, we have our preview. And so we can select preview to see what our funnel looks like. And now we can see our funnel here. You also have the save option as well as the publish option. The save means I'm saving for me and no one else can see it once I've connected this funnel to one of my domains that I'm using. And publish means anybody sees it that's in the world once it's been connected and I've published it for the world to see. So that's your overview at the top. Here in the middle, this is our canvas that we're working on. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually talk about the different types of elements. Now, you'll notice right now as I hover over this area, a green box appears, and that green box represents what's called a section. So all of your web design is broken down into sections, which are then broken down into columns, rows, which you see right here in blue is a row. Inside of rows, you have columns. This happens to be one column. And inside of columns, you have elements, such as in this example, we have a headline, and you can see, or a subheadline. You can see that's the name of this element. So we build our sites from sections, and we add rows with columns, and we add elements, which is where we put content. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to know is that you're going to build everything from sections into rows, into columns, into elements. You can't add text, which is an element. In this example, it's a subheadline. You can't add a text element to a section. It must be added to a column within a row. So if I wanted to work this out practically, I would click the plus button here to add elements. And you'll notice on the left-hand side, we have sections, rows, and elements. So I'm going to click on sections, and let's say we wanted to add a new section to this page. I would just drag this section over, and we have four different types. We have four different types. We have full width, which means the entire width of the page. We have wide, which is not the whole width of the page, but it's pretty large. And we have medium and small. So we're going to drag a full width section over. I'm going to drag it right here where I want it, and I'm going to drop it. Now you'll notice it's gray here, even though the background color is transparent, it's gray, and that's because our background color is set to gray. You'll notice if you've gone through our brand boards training, these are our brand colors. I could set this to transparent. I could set it to white, and notice this is my entire background for my entire web page. We're going to leave it on the gray that they had it set on, and we're going to close this. And now we have the section, but you'll see what it first says. It says add a row. And so if I want to add a row, I click the plus sign, and now it brings me to add elements, and it's a row element. Now elements can come in lots of forms, 1 column, 2 column, all the way down to 6 columns or more. And we can add more columns even if we have 6. And so I'm going to, for this example, I'm going to choose a 1 column row. And just like before, we're just going to drag it over. You see the blue line will appear, and I'm going to drop it. Now, immediately that row is there. Okay, and if I click on it, you'll see it says 1 column row. Whenever I click on any elements here, what happens is it shows me the type of element it is in the top right. This is our editing section. For anything we've selected, we're going to see our editing section. Now, we're not going to go through all of this in this training. I just want you to have an overview. So you have your editing section shows up. Now, if I come inside the actual canvas and I select the blue, now we are on a row. This is called a 1 column row. And if I select the purple, now we see that it's a column. So we always start with sections, then rows, then columns. But you'll notice inside the column, we have add element. And that's our last thing, which is where we actually are adding content. So if I come in, I have lots of different elements I can add. I can add text elements. I can add forms that we've built. I can add blogs or posts that are in our blogs, which you'll learn about in blog training. I can add media like videos and images or image sliders, FAQ sections, photo galleries. I can add custom things like surveys or special code. I can add a calendar event, graphics. I can even add a map. I can add countdown timers. So we are able to add our countdown timers. And you can see that we even have our dynamic countdown timer that we did in another training. If you haven't checked that training out, it's under our marketing training. I can add all kinds of elements here. Now for us, we're just going to add a headline element. So I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to drop it. As you can see, the blue line lines up, and there's our headline element. You can see here in the original template they gave us, there's a logo, and it's actually an image. You can see it's an image that we would add, and we would replace this, which we're going to learn how to do as we work through our elements. So as you're building and you're going through, you'll notice that you'll see green, you'll see blue, you'll see purple, and you'll see orange elements. And now you understand green is section, blue is row, purple is column, purple is column, and green and orange is the element, the actual content elements. And so you'll start to see that. And so you'll know, oh, this is an entire section. And inside the section, I have some rows and I have some elements. Sections are a great way to break up content. You'll notice that between sections, there's usually different color breakups, different design elements, areas. This has a different background in it. And then within each section, there's different purposes. A great thing to use sections for is to divide up the purpose on your page. So this is the testimonial section. This is the contact us section. So you'll see that. And so now you understand sections, rows, columns, and elements. So as we go in to our next segment, we're going to talk about adding elements, editing elements, and learning how to use our settings side of our